Okay, some housekeeping before we start. All right. Try to mute your microphone. All right. We don't want to hear your mom screaming at you or your dog barking, or something else. All right. So try to mute your microphone before we start. Okay. So if your network is very slow, you can mute your video also. So you just need to listen and look at the screen. Okay, so this session is a Zoom familiarization session for DBA student. Okay, for DBA student. Okay, so before I start, I will let this Mr. Owen to give a few words. Mr. Owen?
Mr. Michael, I think
Yeah.
maybe you can start your session first. My one maybe towards the end because the number maybe some of them might join in another few minutes.
Can.
Yeah, I'll let you to proceed on your session first.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, for those of you who just joined in, please mute your microphone. All right. That's more quiet. All right. Okay. Thank you for joining us this afternoon for all the returning students. This one should be all the DBA students. All right. So this afternoon, we are going to look at this Zoom. All right. Some of you may be very familiar with Zoom, and some of you maybe this is the first time you use Zoom. All right. So I will briefly go through some of the functions that you may use during the duration of this semester. All right. So I'm Michael Hung, one of the lecturer. So I will be briefing you guys on this Zoom. All right. Okay. So thanks to the COVID virus that we all get to stay at home, and also thanks to the virus that we can go into the 21st century education. All right. So in the past, for many years, Malaysia has not been on par in delivering this e-learning, right? Because of a lot of aspects. So because of this COVID virus, we are able to go into this e-learning, okay, in very fast speed. All right. So for FAM, we have now integrated all our teaching using this Zoom. All right. So you can join all the virtual classroom using Zoom, and then you can access to all your resources through Moodle. Okay. So basically, you can study from home. All right. Okay, just hold for a second. Let me admit some more students coming in. All right. Okay, so let us look at the Zoom. Now, some of you may ask why we use Zoom. We have other options. Let's say Google Classroom. We have Blackboard. All this.
没有声音这样，没有声音。我看不到你的东西。
All right. So the reason why we use Zoom is that we want to standardize, all right, between the lecturers and all the students. So we have a common platform to use. Now, Zoom is very easy to use, okay? Easier than the rest, all right? So let us look at the Zoom, all right? So because we only have 40 minutes, and I have to leave some time for the HOP and the head of academic to do some more briefing, all right? So let us continue on. All right. Since you all already can join in the Zoom, that means I don't have to go through the installation process. Okay, with you guys. Okay. So for those of you who have no idea what is Zoom, or somebody help you to log in right now, just now. Okay, so this is the steps. Okay, you just need to go to zoom.us to download, right? To download the software. Okay, and then you need to create your ID. Okay, or you can use your Google or Facebook account to log in also. All right. Next one. Okay, you have to install the Zoom desktop client. All right. Then you need to have a webcam with headset, with speaker, with microphone. Okay, enabled. Now, before we go any further, okay, this is a reminder to all of you. If you install your Zoom before yesterday, all right, you are advised to update your Zoom client. Okay, that means the software itself. All right, because yesterday Zoom how to say, they found that there are hackers. They try to exploit the Zoom email, right? So if you send invitation, if you receive invitation link from Zoom, the hackers may be able to hack into your system, okay, through the invitation link, right? So the best way is to update your Zoom software, right? Okay. So you might be asking, where am I getting my meeting ID and the password, okay, for my course? All right. So if since all of you already have access to e-learning, right, you just need to go into your e-learning, and then you go to your specific course. Let's say you are taking Intro to Marketing this semester. All right. So you log in with your username and ID, and then you go to Intro to Computing, Intro to Marketing. All right, so inside there you will be able to see something like this. All right, all the lecturer already create a meeting ID for everybody. Okay, for each class. All right, this is a bad drawing. All right. So all the lecturer already created the meeting ID and the password. So you will be using the same ID and the same password for the whole semester. Okay, what it means is, let's say you are taking Intro to Marketing. Okay, so you have your meeting ID and password here. So you will be using the same meeting ID and password throughout the whole semester. Okay. So you don't have to keep remember meeting ID for every class. Okay, you don't have to. All right. So one ID, one password for one course. All right. Okay. Wait. All right. So you are going to see this screen when you join when you want to join the meeting. All right. So here's a reminder: before you join the meeting, make sure that the link that you receive is not from email. Very important. Okay. So if you receive any email telling you to join a Zoom virtual class, do not click on the link. Okay, remember this. Hold for a second. More user coming in. Okay. All right. Okay, for those of you who just joined, don't worry. Okay, if you miss the first part of the session, don't worry. All the session will be recorded, and it will be posted to the Moodle. Right? So don't worry if you miss anything. You can always go back and listen to the whole thing again. All right. Okay, let's continue. All right, so if you receive something like this when you try to download the Zoom, all right, you just need to save the file and install the file, all right? Okay, now, when you join a class, okay, make sure you key in your meeting ID. Now, once you key in your meeting ID, all right, then you need to key in your name. Now, your name is not your nickname, okay? We don't want you to write Snoopy, Garfield, or whatever anime name in here, okay? You must use your full name, okay? I repeat, you must use your full name as per your IC or passport, all right? We don't want any funny names or any names that we cannot recognize. Okay, I'll tell you why later. Okay, and then for down here, there is two more checkbox. Okay, just left these two unchecked. Now, unless your video, your internet connection is really bad, then you can turn off this one. You can check this one if your internet connection is really bad. Okay, or else you just leave it on and click join. All right. Okay. All right, next. All right, so once you join, you are going to see this page. Okay, so now we are going to look in more detail on all the basic functions. All right. All right. So reminder again. All right. So it is your responsibility to find good and stable internet connection. That means if your house internet is no good, all right. Let's say your Unify is no good, all right. Then you need to use your handphone data plan. All right. You need to hotspot or you need to use your mobile. Okay. So it's up to you, but you have to make sure that you have a good connection. Okay. When you go into your virtual classroom. All right. And if you are experiencing poor quality live feed video, right? Because of this MCO movement, everybody is at home watching movie, right? So if the quality is really no good, then you can turn off the video, okay? But you must pay attention to the live feed, to the screen, okay? Mute your microphone during the class, okay? Unless you are required to answer question, okay, or to ask question. All right, so pay attention during the class as the lecturer may conduct ad hoc quizzes during the live session. Okay, this is one of the way the lecturer can verify that you are listening in the class. Okay. All right, next one we're going to look at the basic function. All right. Now the first one is the mute button. All right, mute means you can mute your microphone. Okay, second one, to start video. Let me change the color to red. All right. Okay. So you can stop the video. Okay. First, you can mute the video. Then you can stop the video. All right. What else we can do? You can invite. Okay. You can look at the participant list. You can share. Okay. Now, under the participant, okay, just now I mentioned that you have to use your real name. Okay. Now, what happens if you forgot? Okay, when you sign in. Okay, what you can do is you go to the participant list. All right. Right click on your name. Okay, go to the participant list, click on your name, and click more. Okay, there's a more button. Once you click on the more button, you are going to see a function say rename. Okay, so you can change your screen name. Okay, in there. All right. For those of you who are not using your real name, you can try to change it now. Okay, change to your full name. All right. Let's continue. All right. The next one. Okay. Then we have a share screen. Okay. Share screen means you can share your content. Let's say your not Facebook. What am I talking? Okay, you can share your screen, okay, to your friends. Okay, we'll go into this one later on. All right, chat is for you to chat with the lecturer, or you can ask question if you don't want to use your voice. All right, then you can record and leave the meeting if you need to. All right. Not clear. Okay. All right. Now next one is the chat. Okay, so this one you can chat to everybody, or you can chat to a certain people. Okay, privately. But all the chat content will appear on the screen. Okay. Okay. That's the end of the first part. Any questions so far? Am I talking too fast, or you don't understand something? You can ask now. All right, so you just need to unmute your microphone and you can ask questions. Duncan, he asks, is it normal if I don't hear anything? All right, if you don't hear anything, that means either you mute your speaker. All right, so you need to enable that one. Okay, if you are using your handphone, you need to check on the volume. All right. Okay, if no question, we go to the next one, which is the conducting class discussion or meeting. Okay, for this part, let's say you need to have a discussion, a group discussion with your friends, all right, with your teammates, to discuss on an assignment or to do some, coursework, right? So you need to create a meeting, okay? So one of the member, okay, in your group need to become the host, right? So to become the host, you need to install the desktop client, right? So in the desktop client, you need to enable, you need to click on the new meeting, okay, to create a new meeting, okay? So once you create a new meeting, then you are going to come to this page. Okay, so in this page, if you see the icon next to the red arrow, okay, you are going to see the details of your Zoom session. Right, so you are going to see the ID, who is hosting, what is the password, and the invitation link. Okay, now if you send the invitation link to your friend, make sure that you don't email it to them. Okay, if you want to send invitation link, WhatsApp to them or WeChat to them. All right. Okay, next one. All right, so these are the functions that you can share on the screen. Like what I did right now is I'm sharing my PowerPoint. Now, other than PowerPoint, you can share your screen or you can share your whiteboard. Now, whiteboard is a place where you can do all the writing and drawings. Now, if you have a tablet, then you can use your whiteboard, okay, effectively. Like for me, I'm using my mouse, or whiteboard is not a very good choice, right? Now, how to use whiteboard? Okay, now when you're in the meeting, you just need to share screen. You click on the share screen and then you choose whiteboard. Right, so in the whiteboard, you are going to get the annotation tools. So annotation tools, you can change the color, you can share, change the arrow, you can, whether you want to undo or redo, or you want to save all your annotation, right? So you can choose all the option there. All right, so let's say you write something, so it will all appear on the screen that you share. All right, next one is it's a common method that we use to present our to do our presentation. All right, or you want to share something with your members. All right, you can embed your PowerPoint in the Zoom. Right. So what you can do is, okay, so this is what we call the single monitor setup with slideshow view in a window. All right, for me, this is the easiest method to use. Now, if you use a normal slideshow, you are going to have trouble with to access other function in your window. So you have to, it's harder for you to do that. Now, if you do the single monitor setup, okay, your PowerPoint will come out in a window. All right, so if you can drag the window left and right, top and down, you resize it all you want. All right, so it doesn't interfere with your desktop. Okay, so you need to open up your PowerPoint. Okay, PowerPoint file that you want to present. Then you click on the slideshow tab. Okay, like the one shown below. Set up the slideshow. Okay, then you are going to get this page. Now, once you get this page, you need to go down, you look for your show type and look for browse by an individual window. Okay, you click on this one. Okay, then you switch the PowerPoint to the slideshow. Right? Then you are going to see your PowerPoint appear on the window. Okay, as a window. Now, when you see your PowerPoint appear in the window, then you click the share. Okay, share your screen. And you select the PowerPoint. Okay, all right. Last part of my presentation. Okay, Zoom has some limitation. For the Zoom basic version, we have maximum numbers of 100 participants. Okay, and then each session will last for 40 minutes. Now, in your Zoom classroom, in your virtual classroom, you are going to get this limitation also. Now, Zoom sometimes they will give free extension of time, free time extension. All right, so it depends. Now, just in case in between your class, suddenly the time is up, or you got disconnected. Right, the easiest way is you just click on the same link that you joined in just now. Okay, you can just click on the same Zoom ID and the same password to enter the class. Okay, now just now I mentioned that you need to put in your real name. Okay, the reason is the lecturer will use your name, okay, in the participant list to check for your attendance. Okay, so make sure your name is a full name, or else the lecturer will have trouble finding your name. Okay, let's say you use the name Pikachu. Where am I going to find Pikachu in the name list? All right, so make sure your name is your full name. Okay, so my last slide. Okay, so other than your parents' number, your best friend, your boyfriend, girlfriend's contact, okay, you need to store these two numbers in your handphone also. Okay, so the first one is Mr. Chai, who is our IT support guy. All right, so if you have any question about Moodle, about Zoom, you can contact him. All right, so if you cannot get him, you can also contact me. Okay, all right, so any question that you guys want to ask. All right, so now you can unmute your microphone if you want to ask anything. All right, and then I'll get Mr. Woon to continue on with this session.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Michael. I think we have another 10 minutes left, I think, if not mistaken. Right, so now students, if you have any questions, you can pose your questions here. If you think that it's not convenient, you can always use the chat option, right? So that we can answer your questions accordingly. So I will updates all the returning students on few matters as well as some reminders. Then after that, I will pass my sessions to the head of programs, right, Miss Lims. Maybe she can convey any urgent announcement or reminder as well from the program point of view. So I will share. You cannot share. Mr. Michael, can I share my screen? Can I get the permission to share?
Let me see. Yeah, you can share now.
Okay, thank you. So, dear students, just a reminder again, if you would like to share anything online during the teaching, you need to get a permission from the host, right? So in this case, I believe all of you can see the screen, the notes that I posted. Can you view it? Yeah, everyone can view it, huh? Okay, so first of all, on behalf of FEM International College, right, so we would like to extend welcome back to April sessions, right? Welcome back to April sessions. We are aware that now everyone's actually stay at home, right, due to this MCO extension, right, movement control orders due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So we would like to urge all the students to stay safe at homes, right? Perform hygienes, right, on yourself, as well as take good care of yourself as well as your families, right? So let's look into my notes here. So first, I would like to update all of you on the head of program in charge with effective from the April 2020 session onwards.
Sorry,
So Miss
Mr. Boon.
Lim, yes.
Can you share again?
Oh, okay.
See
I'll
your
try
screen.
one more time. Huh?
Yeah.
Can you see the screen now?
Oh, okay.
No, okay already, yeah?
No, okay.
Okay, good. So as you can see, my first point or my first update is on the update on HOP in charge, right? So with effect from April 2020 session onwards, so Miss Lim will be the HOP in charge for the Diploma in Business Administration program. So here I would like to seek all the students' cooperations, right? Seek the student cooperation so that give your full cooperation to Miss Lim, right? In terms of your teaching and learnings as well as your academic performance. Of course, other than that, if you think that you want to get some feedback from your formal head of program, Miss Liu, you are welcome to do that as well, right? But the formal contact persons I would recommend is Miss Lim, right? The second reminder is on the usage of Zooms for online teaching and learning, right? Of course, on top of that, it will be supported by Moodle, right? Just now, Mr. Michael did mention that the subject lecturers will share the Zoom ID and the password in your Moodle, right? In your Moodle. So which means, so let's say April 2020 sessions, so you might be enrolled for 5 subjects. So when you check your Moodle, you go to the subjects access, so you will refer to a different ID as well as different password for different subjects. So you can use the same ID and the password for that subjects throughout the whole semester, from week 1 until week 14. Right? So you just use the same ID and the password for that particular access. Of course, for the housekeeping rules, so make sure all the students can be on the standby mode, right? 5 or 10 minutes before the session starts, right? Similarly for the subject lecturer as well. So the subject lecturers will ensure all the students are on time, and once the clock tick 9 a.m., so he or she will start the online lecture sessions, right? So make sure that you don't be late, don't miss the classes, and remains engaged in the session. My third announcement or the reminder is to update all of you regarding there will be some changes on the assessment formats. Right, this is due to the changes from the face-to-face delivery into online delivery. Now we are preparing, right, the worst scenario, right, whereby if the governments further extend this MCO, we are not sure, right? So that's why we are waiting for the further announcement of the instructions given by government. So to prepare ourselves, right, as well as to be fair to the student as well. So we review the assessment formats, right, for all the students. So for April session, so for April 2020 sessions, the assessment component will be break down into 70% coursework, 30% final exam. Not as like the current practice, right, the January 2020 and before. So it will be 50% coursework and 50% final exam. So for April sessions particularly, so we did a revisions on the assessment format, 70% breakdown into individual assignment 30%, group assignment 40%, followed by 30% of final examinations, right? 80%, the second category will be 80% of coursework component, 20% final exam. So this will be applicable to business, mathematics, and statistics subjects. So which means 80%, the breakdown will be 40% group assignment, 40% individual tutorial exercises, right? So I will leave it to the subject lecturers to brief all of you, right, when the semester commences next week. So anything you're not sure, you can always come back to us, myself, the head of programs, or even check with your subject lecturers for further clarifications. Now for the final exams components, right, so it will be an online assessment, right, if government further extend this MCO. It will be on time to time. My fourth reminder or announcement will be on the attendance, right? So make sure you use your actual name. A reminder again, use your actual name as per IC or per passport, and do not use a Chinese character as well, because subject lecturers will take your attendance from this Zoom, right? From this Zoom. So that's why we would like to urge students to remain active, remain engaged, and make sure you have a high participation during the online discussion. So your lecturers may ask you a question during these 3 hours sessions, although it's limited to 40 minutes per session. He or she may also ask you to do some online quizzes, right? So please remain engaged and remain active in the discussion, right? Some of you may ask, okay, what is next after MCO is lifted, right? After announcement being made by the government. So for your information, FAM will extend for another weeks. Then it will back to the normal operation or normal delivery. So let's say if 14th of April is the last day of this MCO, so FAM will only start the operations back to normal on the 22nd of April. So we will further extend another week. It will be online delivery, right? So that's all from me. If you have any question, you can pause in the chat option, or you can ask me now. If not, I will pass the session to your head of program, Ms. Lim. Ms. Lim, please.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Actually, I'm quite happy that most of you did turn out for these Zoom sessions. So all your timetable have been uploaded, so you can view it and even download. And if any one of you find that your subject is not in the e-learning, so kindly contact Mr. Chai. And for the reunit students, so after you settle your timeline, you decide what subject to reunit, you let me know so that we can enroll you in the e-learning on time for your class next week. Okay, basically I don't have much to say because Michael and Mr. Gun give a very clear explanations. So anything you guys want to ask before we end the session?
Okay, I just want to refer to one question posted by Chang Wei Chun. He asked me what will happen if lockdown is extended, right, for the final exam, including the final exam week. So as I mentioned just now, so the final exam will be conducted using Moodle. Okay, Duncan said no. How about others? Okay, Jet is also mentioned no. Okay. So,
Mr. Woon?
Yes.
Maybe you need to let them know we'll be encounter this kind of issue in their 3-hour class because some students
Correct.
feedback to me.
Okay. I mean, just to inform all of you that because if you refer to the timetables, right, I believe as on 2nd of April yesterday, so all the continuing students, you should be able to access to your Moodle and refer to the subjects that we allocated for the April sessions. So do look into the subjects, make sure it's the head of programs enroll the subjects correctly for you. That's number one. And make sure also you go and check on the respective subjects whether there is any Zoom's ID and passwords provided, right? So if not, please feedback to us as soon as possible before the new semester starts on the 6th of April. Now, our session will still remain the same, morning 9 to 12, afternoon 2 to 5. If there's any part-time lecturers sessions, there might be a possibilities that we conduct during the evening, which is 6:30 to 9:30 on weekdays. Maybe there will be some Saturday classes as well. Now, the session, as I mentioned, will be remain as 3 hours, but Zoom only limited 40 minutes per session. So in this case, what will happen is, so the subject lecturers may give you some break, right, after each Zoom session. Right, for example, like if your class is from 9 until 9:40, so after the session ended, so the lecturers will make announcement to give you 5 to 10 minutes break, right? And of course, we would like to see all the students come back to the class, right? Not like what had been practiced physically. So the student went to Brighton Cafe, right, to grab a cup of coffee, Maggie mee or whatever. But now it's all in a virtual classroom. You still can have your coffee and tea, whatever, kolomi, so in front of your computers, but as I said, remain engaged, right? So once it's disconnected, if your lecturers did not announce there is a break time, so make sure you reconnect as soon as possible. If your subject lecturers did make an announcement, you connect after 5 or 10 minutes break, so you follow that particular instruction, right? Now, I think I received some of the question here. Let me see. Xiang Ji, okay, 70% assessment is group individual assignment just for confirmation. Now, Xiang Ji and other students, for the 70%, it break down into 40% group assignment, 30% individual assignment. So it's 30 individual, 40 group assignment, right? So there's a breakdown. Okay, any other question? No midterm exam, yes. No midterm, no progress test, no quiz for these April sessions only, right? Due to the COVID-19 pandemics. Okay, so it's I would say it's a more relaxed session, but at the same time, we want all the students fully engaged into these Zooms, as well as I would anticipate more discussion involved because instead of 20% group assignment, now you have 40% group assignments, right? So 40% is a very high weightage. So whether you are able to get an A or a B, so it's very much depends on your coursework, which is contributed to 70% to 80% if it is business maths or statistics subjects. Right? I hope it is clear. Any more questions? If anyone have any question, can ask or Miss Lim. Okay, yeah. I mean, you can email me, you can ask me or Miss Lim or even like Miss Liu, right, related to the program or academic matters. You have our email address, you can just email us on this. Right. So I pass the session back to Mr. Michael.